Welcome back to the Capes and Tights podcast right here on capesandtights.com. I'm your host, Justin Soderberg. This episode is once again brought to you by our friends over at Galactic Comics and Collectibles at 489 Hammond Street in Bangor, as well as galacticcomicsandcollectibles.com. We welcome proprietor and owner of Galactic Comics and Collectibles. We welcome Paul Eaton to the podcast again to discuss and review the 1984 Supergirl movie. After losing a powerful orb, Kara Zor-El, Superman's cousin, comes to Earth to retrieve it and instead finds herself up against a wicked witch. Yeah. So we discussed this right here on this podcast, but before you listen, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter, all those places. You can rate, review, subscribe over on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you find your podcasts. You can watch the video portion of this podcast over on youtube.com. And as always, you can check out capesandtights.com for so much more. This is a discussion of the 1984 Supergirl movie with Paul Eaton of Galactic Comics and Collectibles. Enjoy, everyone. Paul, we're back again.
How's it going?
Justin? Yeah.
Man.
It's been great. We had the comic signing at the shop on Saturday.
We did. Mini Galacticon 26 is in the books.
Yeah, and then we'll be back for Galacticon 27 for sure.
Yeah.
We just don't know when, where, how, who, all that stuff. But we'll be back.
I don't think we have a single detail of this iron out besides the name. We get the name. That's something.
Yeah, and we're doing it. That's the only things that we know.
That's all we got covered. Yeah,
but I also feel like for those who have come to our Galacticon and or the shop or whatever and seen your shop, I think this year could be good. I think that we have some options this year. I feel like 24 was just let's get it done. Like what I had a kid, so there was like let's just do it.
Let's kick this off. Let's try this out. Yeah.
25 was like, hey, we did it. We know kind of what we're doing. Let's start it again. And then obviously you got a new shop, and I bought a house. There's all kinds of stuff that happened in 26 that just made it be like we're gonna wait, and so we'll do this year. So we'll get it done. And now I'm like, let's make it better. We have some things. Let's figure some things out. And so we don't have to go back to the same location. We might. We don't have to have this X, Y, and Z. And so let's just figure it out. So I'm excited. I had some thoughts going on in the head and see what we can do to make this happen. You, me, and our buddy Lance, who I'm kind of sad wasn't there on Saturday. I don't know. He had something going on, or
he might have been busy. I don't know what was up with.
Hey, we're not doing real Galacticon, so I'm busy. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, I got plans.
Mini Galacticon. Forget that. I'm going to do this. No, it was fun. I'm excited.
Big time or nothing.
It's a weird time because, like, obviously my birthday and then Nova's birthday, and then we have Galacticon, which again, the discussion maybe is it happening in May, or maybe we would move it to a different month. That's one of the discussions we have.
Yeah, I think shuffling a month would be good for us all.
If we move from location, so we go to a different location, it opens up a lot more possibilities of when we can do it or how we can do it. And so that's a talk. But we have that. A year ago I bought my house, so it was an anniversary of that. And actually, Paul, it's the 10th anniversary, 10 years since I decided to pack my bags up in Massachusetts and move back to Maine. And so that this past weekend was the 10th anniversary of that too. So this podcast wouldn't have existed. Our friendship wouldn't have existed. My marriage, all that stuff wouldn't have existed without me moving back here. So it's pretty exciting. And so as a celebratory thing, we watched Supergirl from 1984.
That's how we celebrated.
And to be honest with you, out of the 20 or so, whatever number of 25, whatever, we've done a lot of these.
How many have we done now? That'd be interesting.
I'll have to go back and look at that. But I'm not counting early days when we were doing top 10 this, top 10 that. Just movie reviews.
Just movie reviews.
I'll have to go back and check that out and see if I can figure that number out. But this is the first one I think I actually was like, Taylor, we're going to watch it. And that happened to be because it was my birthday weekend. And I was like, we'll watch it together.
She has to do what you want to do. So.
And she's like, cool, whatever. And we actually watched it over like 3 days because it's a 2-hour movie.
This is a 2-hour movie. I was telling Liz that, and she was like, they didn't make 2-hour movies in the 80s. I'm like, they did for this one.
And it ruined, there's a lot that went into this that ruined things and causation of how successful or unsuccessful the movie was that made it so that this was a bad time. And 2 hours didn't help that at all.
No, 2 hours didn't do it a lot of favors. So my first and foremost, it is very bad writing. I will accept the cheesy backdrops and the cheesy special effects because, it was 84. I don't think the casting was overall horrible, for her being Supergirl. The writing of this was so bad. It was so hokey. Like, let's make sure everyone knows this is a comic book movie, just cheesy, stuff doesn't have points, things don't add up, just utter chaos that they're like, no one's gonna question it. Superheroes.
It's a superhero,
right?
but like so there's not the good CW stuff. So like the good Arrow and the good Flash and all that stuff.
Right.
Not the good stuff, but the kind of cheesy CW stuff mixed with like a soap opera, mixed with like Saturday morning cartoons, mixed with like
old
a fantasy.
Star Trek?
Yeah,
I feel like
it was
vintage, like series 1 Star Trek, the original stuff. This felt like we used like production crews from, we used sound effects from, just bad. Like, probably like watching this in high def, honestly, probably doesn't do it a lot of favors. Like, you can see all of the backdrops and the stuff that like definitely looks like leftover 70s TV series stuff. Like, and they're like, well, we'll just call that the future / alien technology or whatever the hell it is. So maybe VHS, maybe old school production hid some of this stuff, but boy, does it look bad.
So if you put it in a category outside of, like we talk about this with Marvel movies nowadays, how they're like, or Marvel and DC, I should say now, it's like, it's a superhero movie, but it's really like a detective story or a crime story or a heist story or a comedy or well, so I have it written down here, Paul. Is it a serious fantasy? Is it teen romance? Is it slapstick comedy or is it like a creepy magical horror story? Which one of them?
It covers all of them. I mean, good for it. It covers all of them. And added some like cheesy sci-fi if you want to throw in there too. Because all of the like Phantom Zone, future stuff, the city she lives in, all really, really bad sci-fi looking stuff. The space travel and the ball, like all of that stuff. Super bad sci-fi cheesy.
$35 million budget, okay, for 1984 is pretty considerable, especially for a superhero movie. A
lot of money back then.
How much do you think that money went into creating her home planet, like her home area? Like that place looked like there was so much building sets, and so it's not special. Like there's no way it's CGI. So that's just you're talking. That's physical sets, and like
well, and I
told 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes of the entire 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, they built this thing.
If that was today, you'd go, wow, somebody really needs to learn to 3D print better. Because so much of the stuff looked like 3D printed crap that wasn't obviously 3D printed in 1984.
But see, they put a lot of
like it was
effort
just bad
into like nothing. It's like why we talked about on Motu was like
why they sink so much into this.
Why do we do it on Earth? It's because it's cheaper to do it on Earth, right? So why would you sink so much money into not doing it on Earth? Couldn't you have done something small? And I don't know. I just what I did feel like.
How long were they? Well, they were what? Probably 10 to 15 minutes, maybe, on her first, where she's on her planet or on her inner city, whatever the hell that
whatever
was.
they want to call it on the movie, because
this
is obviously
an adaptation. So much of this stuff was the writing side of it. It just made no sense.
Well, they thought at the beginning
the guy creates his power that will charge the city, and he randomly kicks it over to a young teenage girl who, like, loses it. It goes flying out the window and creates this vacuum, and then he's like, "Oh, I've doomed us all." Well, maybe you shouldn't be wandering around with what's a nuclear bomb or whatever the hell this thing is.
Two things on that, Paul. One, if that is so important to your way of life in your like planet, your space, whatever it may be, how is it that possible that Peter O'Toole, the actor, Zoltar can go to that spot and borrow it? And no one's like of the wiser until something happens. Like no one's like, there's not like a security force around it. There's not some sort of vault that's locked in.
He built the city, so I'm so confused. I'm like, is he in charge of this place? Is he not in charge of this place? Because she's like, how did you get it? Like, there's so many, like, just not even unanswered questions, but just like weird writing parts that were just thrown into this.
Their attempt in this movie is to get Supergirl to Earth. right? Like the plot for moving the plot forward. We want to get Supergirl to Earth so people can watch Supergirl on Earth. That's the writer's job, right? And what it seemed like in the first 15, 20 minutes was like every single line and every single scene was like just explaining how we're going to get her to Earth. Like it was so like, it should have just been like, something happened, now we're on Earth, and that would have been exactly the same as how that first setup was. The first setup was like every line just seemed so like forced to say, how are we going to, because even that, like, she just like ran up to that ship and got on the ship and drove away. Like there was no, like, it was just like, how can we quickly, in 15 minutes or so, get this movie to Earth and do it without like any actual talent in writing this? Like it just seemed like, and honestly, what it seemed like is someone typed it into like an AI program and be like, and AI just spit out this thing, say this line, this line, this line, this line, and then she can go to Earth. And he's like, I guess I'm in trouble now. I guess I'll go to the Phantom Zone. It was like a weird, like, how are we going to get him, Zoltar?
I know I've killed all of you, but rather than sitting here and watching you die, I'll go to the Phantom Zone.
Because, like, in a normal movie, you'd see, like,
I'm getting at least to the Phantom Zone. Screw all you people.
You'd get this little, like, segment in a other movie of, like, some sort of, like, board or directors or, like, some sort of group of people, leadership group like, that says you are banned to the Phantom Zone. And he was like, cool, guess I'm going to jail.
Well, I'm out of here, guys. Good luck with this whole city disaster, no power thing.
I'm gonna go to the Phantom Zone, which technically I'll live forever in this crappy place, but at least my world won't collapse around me. Maybe he did it on purpose. Here. I'll survive.
You guys are kind of screwed.
But I just thought to myself, like, if you thought about Back to the Future, if like Biff Tannen was just like after he crashed his car, the skateboards into the thing where he gets arrested in the future in the first, like, wouldn't you just, it'd be like him just saying, cool, arrest me, I did something bad, let's go to jail, right. Peace. And it was so weird. And the funny thing is about Paul is that there are some redeeming qualities of the movie, which we will get to, but that setup, that beginning, if it wasn't for this or being a fan of superhero movies or movies in general and things like that, there's a good chance where I'm like, I'm not watching it. I can't watch this anymore.
No, this kicks off with the, unlike like we did the Super Mario where like your first 15 minutes is the only redeemable piece of it. The first 15 minutes of this is probably the worst part of this movie. Like it improves from here. It does get better, I feel like.
But it does feel like it's 4 different stories in one thing that don't interconnect. It's not like they're like 4 different stories that at some point will connect. It was like you had Selena, who is also, again, I never understood why the hell are you adapting a comic book character and you don't pick a villain from the comics? Like, how is this? I don't understand why you're creating these stupid
character. And then because I feel like it was in Superman, we're going to give her a sidekick because Lex Luthor had this like goofy, stupid sidekick. So here's your sidekick. And randomly, she's a witch somehow that happens to get the globe that apparently will power black magic for her, I guess. I mean, I suppose. Was like demon. I mean, demon worshiping was kind of this like big villain thing in the 80s. So I feel like it was probably just a cop out to like, I know, we'll say the demon worshiper.
And I'm guessing that they really wanted it to be a woman because Supergirl, they
didn't want a guy fighting.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah.
Which, honestly, 84, to do a movie that has a lead character, superhero movie as a lead character as a woman, and the lead female character as a villain, like that to me, I was actually kind of like, wow, credit is where credit's due. Like the fact of the matter is that they went with Superman for 3 movies. And instead of doing some sort of other version of Superman or a character connected to Superman in a way, they went to Supergirl, which was like, oh, that's actually I credit where credit's due in that sense. Yeah. However, what I did end up doing was killing that era of Superman's franchise and losing them a bunch of money. So I don't know if it was a good decision to make at the time, but I will say it is that like, okay, that's kind of ahead of their time in the sense because like they end up having a main character who saves the day, and they didn't just say the woman saves the day; they saying the woman saves the day and was the villain. And so like, so it was,
going into that
powerful
side, like,
women.
I thought it was kind of fun. Randomly, she ends up bunked with Lois Lane's little sister. Like And
that to me screams comics though. Like it screams like
yeah, oh, big time, yeah.
forget what else is like. Forget legitimate things. We're just gonna make this happen. Happenstance.
But I
Whatever.
do love that that she's the Lois Lane of the like, she's tough and she's not gonna back down and all of that. She's definitely like little Lois. But another, strong female character in this movie for her best friend, I guess, you end up with.
It is more believable that she is not Supergirl outside of Clark Kent just wearing his glasses. Like it is the fact that she's brought blonde. Her hair.
All that come from? So she lands and she comes flying out of the water, miraculously dry.
Well, but she doesn't land. It's a weird. It's somehow she lands, but at the end of the movie, she goes under the water. Did you notice that?
I want to get to that. Also, I have a lot of issues with.
I'm like, wait, is she a Gungar from Star Wars? Does she live like with Jar Jar Binks under the? But she comes from space, but she also is underwater. Just don't worry about it. Don't ask questions.
The ship. Guess the ship crashes in the water.
But she goes into the water. But she goes into the water and she swims to her home. Like she goes underwater and swims to her home. She doesn't get.
I lead to all these questions. The city is doomed without this. We won't make it a day. Well, has she been a day? Has she not been a day? How long has this guy been in the Phantom Zone? How long did she travel space? Why is the city underwater?
It's a whole so it's like
and
Star Trek. Star Trek is like where there's weird time dimensions.
All start back up. That is more of the writing of like, what the hell?
But you were saying about
the whole city's under this lake. It looked like. Now she's Phoenix from X-Men, I guess. I'm just gonna.
Well, she's like, it ends up turning into she's a Jar Jar Binks' girlfriend, basically, and she also like I don't know, maybe she's friends with Namor, and Aquaman. Now Aquaman? That's what. But it was weird because like she did land, but it's not her city that landed. Her ship landed in the water.
So where
then she gets out of the water, and then when she finishes, she swims underwater, not to her ship to fly back, but to her city.
Flying to her ship. And then you see the city, and I'm like, what the hell?
Well, all I can picture is someone in the writing room that they're writing this.
The whole movie up, we end with another, what the hell?
She's like in the writing room, they're like, well, she came out of water when she got to Earth, so maybe we'll just put her back underwater. And then someone goes,
put her back there.
You got to finish this movie now. It's 2 hours long. I'm like, cool.
Yeah, it's over. We're done here, folks. Wrap this thing up. Well, you know what? The city's underwater.
Well, man,
and then if we ever need her, she'll come back out of the water again.
Here's one thing, Paul. She does have that orb. So maybe the orb is some sort of like, you put it in there and she can transfer it back. Like it's like we didn't see it fully, but like
teleport the city to.
It's more like
I guess if we're gonna write this, I guess right.
It's supposed to be like artistic, maybe like it looks like she's going underwater, but then it fades to space. Do you know what I mean? Like
witch. Oh yeah, we could have that. I was gonna say the witch did teleport a bunch of stuff with the orb. So Lena, so she comes out of the water, completely dry. Immediately discovering her powers, crushing a rock, jumping up and down. That's like flying.
I wrote that down. I was like, how does she almost know exactly what she can do?
Yeah. All of a sudden, she's just all right. So then she goes into the city or whatever and sees these girls all going to school. And as she walks behind trees, her costume slowly changes, and then her hair changes. And all of a sudden, she's now made up that she's Linda Lee. Where the hell did the costume go? Where did this other outfit come from? How does her hair change? Because it does it throughout the movie. She flies through a window or jumps through a window, whatever the hell she's doing.
She goes through
Linda
the pipe.
Supergirl.
She flies through the pipe at one point, and at the end of the pipe, she's out.
Comes out the other side, Linda Lee. It's not Superman where you're flying through and he, takes off the glasses and the shirt and all of a sudden he's Superman under.
Well, I mean, her getting
this stuff materializes, the hair color, everything all materializes out of nowhere.
If she changed on screen, maybe they might have sold more tickets.
Probably.
No, but yeah, you're right though. Well, like, how does she know that there's a first name and a surname? Like, how does she know that like someone needs a name like Linda Lee? She does nothing about Earth.
Right.
Why would she not just say her name is whatever?
Yeah. She's Zor-El, right? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah, but so like if you think about Superman, if you think about like one of my favorite adaptations of Superman in recent years, is honestly Smallville. And one of the reasons why I like that is because he's obviously a kid, so it's a little bit different, but he slowly learns, oh shit, I have laser eyes. Oh, I can fly. And then someone around him who knows him teaches him the ways of like, you need to hide this, you can't flaunt this.
Yeah, and he's always been Clark Kent. Like he didn't even know.
And
that
so this is different. She
anything
comes to Earth
besides-
as an adult and comes here, and now all of a sudden knows these. The other thing I thought
I
about the
better
Paul
hide this.
that made me go when I was talking to Taylor about it was she just knew how things worked on Earth too. Like when the
Yeah.
the fight
Typewriter?
on the street, like the fight on the street, and she's like stopping things, and she like sees a fire, so she flies through the water tower, and then the water like how does she know there's water in that? Like how does she know that this is how things work? Like my 5-year-old doesn't know that, and she would have the mentality of my 5-year-old knows just as much about Earth as she should know.
does. Yeah,
And she knew how to do all these things. It's like one of these things, like you're suspended so many beliefs in how she adapts to being on Earth. It should have been fish out of water.
There's like some sort of weird thing where the yellow sun makes her smarter because all of a sudden she could do the 6 world geometry or whatever the hell she said. So she knew the answer that the computer.
Yeah, I could see that, but like that's just a weird way to be
guess.
like, cool. That's how she knows how to
Very
do all this
strange.
shit and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
like why would she need to know?
She writes herself a letter from Clark to get her into the school. How the hell she even know what how the typewriter works? She's over there just flying
What
through the
school
thing.
is. So like to me,
Well,
like I
anything,
understand
yeah.
the getting smarter thing too, but also why does she know or think that she has to hide her identity? Nothing
And
in
yet she
there
doesn't
has
know what
ever
a horse
told
is.
her. Yes,
She didn't know what a horse
exactly,
was.
exactly. There's like these things where like we need to figure out how to make it work in the story, but we need to
pick
make
and
the story work.
choose. Yeah, we pick and choose things. So she's alien. You know that she's alien. She's not from here because she doesn't know what a horse is or this or that. But at the same time, knows all this other stuff randomly that we just don't question this.
People eat these animals. Wait, different movie. No,
that was a different movie.
It's true though. All these things got me like disappointed in the sense because of what you got with like we meant to just because with timing and changing and schedules and all that stuff. We never actually reviewed the Superman movie with Christopher Reeves, but like we should go back at some point and do it. But like it didn't really affect this movie because obviously he's not in it. But like what they set up with the Elise
same world, but that's about all you get.
It's 1, 2, and 3, and this spins out of 3 in a way. Like this is supposed to be the spin-off from 3.
Have you ever watched the rest of the Superman movies?
I've watched 1 and 2. I have not actually watched 3, which is kind of weird how that
I don't think
works.
I've watched anything besides 1.
But what happened? So 1, 2, and 3 came out. They thought, oh, those are successful. Let's make this movie. And after this movie bombed, it lost $15 million according to the budget. That's not even covering marketing or anything like that. Like this movie lost money. They sold the franchise of Superman rights to someone else because they're like, this is done. We can't do this anymore. And to make up some of the money they lost in this movie. And so someone else, that's how the next era of Superman movies began. 4. Yep. They made 4. Is there a 5? I don't remember, but there's a couple more. But like the reason why is that, and so it's funny because Christopher Reeve was supposed to be in this movie originally, and then he said, "No, I'm not going to do this," and so they had to quickly like rewrite some of the script, and that's part of the problem when you make a movie, write a script that includes someone else, then you have to write them out, and then you're like, "Oh shit, now what do we do now?" Because a lot of this stuff could have been taught to her by
from
Clark
Superman,
Kent.
yeah.
Clark like, hey, I got to tell you, hey, you can't flaunt this, you can't do
that.
that.
Cousins and go through all that
and
stuff.
I don't know if you noticed at the very beginning of the movie or when she lands on Earth, which first of all, I love in this movie and in Superman, which came out years prior, the flying when they're actually flying, when they're horizontal and they're flying in the time, excellent, like wonderful flying. Like it looks obviously fake at most of the time. Sometimes you're like, wow, that looks pretty real. That's pretty cool.
Definitely looks like a green screen and her. Just
when she jumps out of the water and does her it looks like she has things attached to her hips that are just not there, and she's doing gymnastics things you see at the circus. Like this is not how you would be, and so it doesn't look floating.
It looks like Peter Pan floating around.
Yes, and so like why they had to add that to it? You don't need to do that. Like we know she's 100% flying. But yeah, so I forget what's going with this now, but on the car when the Selena, who ends up becoming Selena, the sorcerer witch, whatever the hell she is, she holds the orb close to the radio, and it was like in Superman, so the far off galaxy, on a researching mission or something like that. It's like that's how they were like, okay, by the way, he's not gonna be here,
right? Because he's gone.
Yeah, and they did it again later on in the movie. They did something.
I think there was another radio show that she passed, like, so you get both characters
to remind you to say, hey, by the way, Superman's not gonna be in this movie, and I think
not coming to help anybody
outside of the writing, and that could be again cause and effect. Outside of the writing, not having Superman in this movie was the biggest downfall of this movie. I think that this movie would have been a better movie. It doesn't have to be a main character. It could be that he's there. Christopher Reeve
The
shows up for the
Iron
first.
Man training Spider-Man type thing real quick.
And no, but even like
An
just at the beginning to say,
explanation.
hey, hide yourself. Don't be flaunting it. Don't do this. This is how this
Right.
works. Here's a sandwich. Da, 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 da. And then all of a sudden, no, I got to go somewhere and do something. But I guess if you just abandon his
Cousin. Yeah.
on Earth when she's looking for this thing that could save her thing, I guess he could go find somewhere or could be locked up. Or Selena could have somehow found kryptonite and made him
Mm,
stuck
right.
somewhere. And that way that you don't have to have Christopher Reeve in the whole movie. And that
And
becomes
he's
Supergirl's
not the
movie.
rescue person, it's her. She's the person saving everyone, not just, oh, and here's Superman saving everybody.
I just feel like it was a weird. I don't know. I just feels like it's a weird. I feel like nowadays you have these movies that are connected that spin out of other things where you're like you have to connect them more. Having
All right,
Supergirl
yeah,
just be
yeah.
a Supergirl
Weave them
movie
in
that
and out.
doesn't include
This had
Superman
none of
is
that.
weird.
This had a poster of Superman that had Jimmy Olsen and mentions of Lois
Well,
Lane
and
and
Jimmy Olsen is the Jimmy Olsen from the first three movies, so that's actually pretty
yeah,
cool too. It's like actually there is a
he
connected
did have
tissue in
to
that sense,
come
and
over
I
front.
liked the Jimmy Olsen. I'll tell you that right now. It kind of he's not the Jimmy Olsen that I would wholeheartedly expect to be in
Right.
this, but I like okay, I can
But
see it. It is kind of
for
funny. He's
this
like,
era,
"What is that mountain?" And he's not taking pictures of it. I thought was funny too. Like he's pointing at it, and he's like, "Oh my god, these mountains come out of
yeah, for
nowhere,"
him to like
and he's not like,
instantly like
"Aren't you in the
yeah.
news, buddy? Aren't you supposed to be getting these? Like, aren't you supposed to make
Are you
money
supposed to be
off
like
this?"
one of the best people for this stuff too? Like the photographer that gets Superman and catches all this action and yeah, instead he's just kind of bewildered and moves on with life. And also, I
Special
don't know if
effects.
Lois is gonna like you dating his her little sister. I don't know.
No, I don't
I
think so
see
either.
Lois being against that plan.
I don't know, man. She's not here. What she doesn't
That's
know,
true.
you'll hurt her.
That's
No,
true. I don't know where Lois is because Superman's in space. Lois is I don't know. She's just a
in
sister.
some other dude's apartment right now. He's gone. Superman's gone. Another zip code, another area code. I mean, what was it?
Yeah, another area code, whatever it was. Yeah, whatever the rule was there. The
Yes,
road
special
trip
effects.
rule.
Like I mentioned, the flying. Obviously, that's practical effects for most of the part. And
Yeah.
flying, they put it over like people
How
sped
many
up helicopter flying. This don't use
how
drones
many
back then. But
sets do you think they built to destroy in this movie? Because it seemed like a lot of stuff was just them just building sets and then wrecking them.
so when she saves people in the town or the road, that's the one like
Yeah,
main road, and she does the
yeah,
tractor, and he's stuck in the claw part,
yeah.
and she removes it and moves it to another spot, and then the girl riding the
It just leaves her behind.
and then but it was funny, it was like it didn't just slow down and stop, it slowed down with the front claw, like the arm part ripping an
Going into a
awning
building.
into a building, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why was it like we're gonna tear this down afterwards anyway, might as well make it cool, and it wasn't even
Might as well
cool, it was
finish
just
this
like
up.
slowly ripped it.
Well,
It
then
would have
I
been
was like,
like
well, some friend you got this doofus guy that you've
she's
saved
still
him, and
rolling.
he's like, oh, she's still unconscious now. Whatever.
But
She'll
I thought that
figure
was
it.
kind of funny. I'm like,
And
it
also
would.
like the bonk of the head to go unconscious was like she's like, oh, I'm gone.
But like, think about it. Like, if you were like hated the Supergirl in your shop, your comic book shop, and you had this awning out front, and it was like a kind of like a haha, like jab at you that we're going to destroy your awning while I
Yeah.
save people. I understand, but it looked like the awning for like a strip club, and it was just like all of a sudden I know it was like slowly like anticlimactic crash into this building. It
Yeah.
was like we can't crush the whole thing, Paul, but that awning,
We're
the
gonna
awning will
need the
never
rest
see
of
it
this
coming.
set for something later. Yeah.
Someone hired them, Paul. That's what it was. Someone hired them for demolition work, and they're like, "We'll just make it part of the movie. You know, just do it.
Yep.
You take the building
All of
down." I go through that. No, but it was kind
all
of
of
funny.
it.
I'm like,
Crush some
very
cars,
interesting on that
smash some
that side
stuff.
of things. And
Well, so
but again,
I'm watching this morning with Emma. Emma's like eating her breakfast and she's like watching along and she's seeing stuff. Then she goes, "Wait, where does this bad guy live?" And I go, "In an abandoned amusement park. In the '80s, those were everywhere." Come to find out,
it
every
also is where all the villains
Scooby-Doo,
live.
all the bad guys always live in an abandoned amusement park. I was like, "Holy crap! Could you get more like cliche in this?" This is where she lives. And then the guy, the love interest, Selena immediately decides it's hers when he's shirtless cutting down a tree. And then like what a moron, like when he shows up. And it was funny because I was sitting there going, man, that guy's familiar. Who the hell is he? And I looked him up and he was Ellis on Die Hard. So I'm like, well, at the end of this, he decides to get out of the tree stuff, gets into business, develops a coke habit, and then gets killed by Hans Gruber later. All right, we have a connection. Yep.
That's what this movie is. It's a connected tissue to a bunch of other things, not just this
Yep,
movie, not
that's what
Superman.
it
It has
was.
less connection to Superman than it does to other movies.
It does other things. Yeah, boy, I don't know. This I definitely, like I said, I think the writing
It's the
is
biggest
the
fall.
number one problem with this movie. I will accept the hokiness and the cheesiness and stuff from it. And I mean, some of the hokiness and cheesiness gets pretty bad when the demon gets summoned at the end and is like, I guess, pulling her. You don't really know. She's just holding her stomach or doing whatever and screaming. It's pretty bad. The trip in the Phantom Zone is pretty bad. When she's fighting nothing, it's pretty bad. And then flies up with the light post and it starts getting hit by electricity. And Emma's like, so the light post holds electricity and then she can re-aim it. And I go, apparently.
You
We
make it. Yeah, you can picture like back in
we
the
don't
'80s
we don't
too.
ask these questions, kid. We don't ask these questions.
But like
But
nowadays,
outside
they
of,
do. They ask those
I
questions
mean,
nowadays. Like they said,
yeah,
like they do some things, but like back in the '80s, it was like this is a comic book movie, so we can do whatever we want.
that's what I said. That's exactly what I said. I said this movie is written like it's a comic book and kids read comics, and therefore this could be as hokey and stupid as we want to write it. And that's what it felt like. Like there's the beyond all of the production stuff, the writing is the biggest problem with this movie.
And that's correct. It felt like three different movies smashed into one. It felt
It's
like it felt
so
like
much of
the
it you just
best
have to write off,
acting in
which
the
makes no
movie.
sense.
The best acting in the movie was Supergirl, which was great because you wanted the person the movie's named after.
I thought the Selena hokey witch was sort of fun.
Well, she was
And
fun, but I just feel like I don't
and
know.
the idiot sidekick,
Yeah. Well, she was fun.
Bianca,
I
idiot
said that I wasn't
sidekick.
going anywhere. She's like I'm leaving now, and then she's like
Yeah.
pushes her to the wall with like a power like
Oh
the
no.
force. You go
Yeah.
add Star Wars into this thing too with the force, and she goes. No, I said I was staying. It's like a change of. I'm not going to go anywhere now.
Yep.
No, but I think she was. I thought the not the beginning part because the first 15 minutes of the movie is horrible acting and horrible writing and
Oh,
horrible
oh yeah, it's
everything.
really
There's nothing
bad.
good about that.
Really bad.
Is right after that when she got there, she was okay and she was good as all the characters and her she
Yep.
was good. But
Yep.
it was kind of funny because it almost seemed at moments that she was the side character in her own movie. Like Selena was more of the actual.
Yeah, it did. It felt a lot more like Selena was more the main character of this movie than Supergirl. Yeah, and I mean, in the overall, she looked like Supergirl. Like how blonde hair, she's standing there with her hands on her hips and the whole deal and being heroic and whatever. So yeah, I mean, I'll take it. But no, overall, I feel like Selena had more relevant screen time at least. Supergirl's doing a lot of just flying around or whatever. If you're gonna go to like relevant screen time, I think this is more of a Selena movie than a Supergirl movie.
Yeah. And also why it's like the tropes of the 1980s in movies, like why the heroine character has to have a love interest too. Like, did she really
Yeah,
need to come to Earth for like 2 weeks, if that, or whatever number of time it was here on Earth, and fall in love with someone else, or have someone fall in love with her and all that? Like, did it need to be there? I guess it does
right.
connect somewhat with the love triangle between Selena and uh
Supergirl. But
Supergirl,
she
but like
also is just in love with this guy that's an idiot that
would the movie have been
has a love
different if it
potion.
wasn't a love interest? She still wants to save people. She still wants to, like, if this person
Yeah.
was
And
kidnapped, she
she
still
and
wants to
she just
save them.
accepts that he had this love potion's in love with her and she's like, well, you know what? Whatever. You know what? You're a hunky human apparently, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, it's a just the whole thing felt like, and because I watched it in three different sittings, because we were like, oh, let's watch a little bit here, and then
Yeah.
I watched about half of it, watched a couple minutes of it, and then finished it last night, and because of that too, it didn't help at all thinking that it was like multiple movies into one. It felt like I was watching a TV show, a 3 episode TV show, but
The
then like
random
why would
segments.
yeah, the random segments of things that don't really go
Yeah.
together, in that sense. And let's so they're on Earth. They're on her home planet, Megatron, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Whatever the
It's
hell the
the
name of the
orb,
place is.
the orb,
The
and the orb
orb,
gets
yeah.
get off, and now the Phantom Zone. The Phantom Zone is the same special effects you've seen in other superhero movies, where
Yeah.
it's the flat. That was pretty
Superman
good.
when Zor-El gets sent
Yeah,
there and
that
yeah.
makes sense.
Zar.
Okay,
Yeah. Not
that fit
Zor-El.
and tied things together, and they didn't do their own version of whatever it was
Yeah.
or whatever. Now they get to the Phantom Zone, which again I'm glad also they call it the Phantom Zone because that is a iconic place in Superman, and that
Yeah.
what it is and so on and so forth. And Peter O'Toole, which again looked like he was just phoning in this entire experience of being the character that he is.
Yes.
Is he drunk?
Yes.
They imply that without actually saying that, because she asked what's in the bottle, but they never actually
said it. Yeah.
Is it because it's DC? You think it's because of superhero?
Stoned, whatever. He's just like constantly.
Hey, you want to squirt?
Squirt.
You want to squirt?
She doesn't say anything. She's saying all this stuff when he's like squirt.
I love her saying squirt.
Yeah,
and she's
so
like,
I feel like it was implied that that was some sort of alcohol, drug, something.
Barbiturate.
Which, where'd all this crap come from? We're in the Phantom Zone. And we got bottles, and
it seems like he's living okay.
He's in like slime, this green slime that he pulls her out of, but then all of a sudden he's somehow built these stairs in this place in a cave.
So
what the hell?
Talk about bad writing, right? Okay.
So what is all this?
How in the hell? This is my whole fault. Remember when I talked about the TMNT?
By the way, the bad guys live over the hill over there. That's where the bad guys are.
TMNT Stranger Things crossover comic that I liked, but the one thing I didn't like about it was how like 11 just happens to find her classmates in New York City when taking a bus with millions of people who live there, and she just happens to get off the bus and be like, "Hey, buddies!"
Yeah,
that was the same thing of there. Like,
endless.
How does Selena send her to the Phantom Zone and she lands like feet from this guy's house, basically?
Yep.
And then she's like, "How did they get together?" When she's watching them like through this whatever FaceTime thing that she has in her Zoom meeting she's having with the Phantom Zone. But how does she? She's like, "Oh my gosh, they found each other!" Like that seems like again too coincidental and perfect for it to be like. And they can escape.
So I got the Star Wars.
So he can escape.
Right,
he just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to escape. Is that what it was? He just doesn't want to escape. He can, but he doesn't want to. Or does he need her?
Yeah, because so you get like I got the Star Wars, the Obi-Wan pulling Luke up here, like instant, and then there's no way out. Well, there's just one way, I know, but there's no way out. And I was like, so wait, as long as you want to climb up the vacuum cleaner, you can go. Like basically, that's the gist. Like, and the whole time I was waiting for this like heroic. Him saving her, like no way one person could get out, but two people, but won't have to sacrifice themselves. I was waiting for that, and he goes, but it didn't seem like he sacrificed himself. It just sounded like he didn't have a good grasp on this rock.
He was too drunk.
And she's like, "Oh no!" Well, anyway,
cool. Moving on. Can't dwell.
All right, I'm gonna go up this light here.
I can't dwell on the past now. Let's move forward. It did seem. It seemed like it. I could see that happening. The foreshadowing too. You could see the foreshadowing happening where it's like,
When
we're
like,
oh,
he's in the Phantom Zone. I'm like, well, we'll see him again.
And then foreshadowing after he got there, because he was like, I'm gonna basically in your mind, like you said, I'm gonna sacrifice myself in a sense. Okay, I can do this. Two people. It needs two people for one person to get out. I will hold the door closed while whatever thing happens so that you can get out, or I'll hold the door open, kind of thing.
All right. Even though I don't think it's ever explained whatsoever why he never even tried to do this in the first place, because he was too busy getting drunk off the
whatever. Is that like prison toilet hooch? Is that what that is? That's it. He has the container for it, unless he brought it with him. But I feel like if he brought it with him, he would be gone already.
I'm gonna send myself to the Phantom Zone as punishment. Just let me grab this bottle so I can make some good wine.
You'd have to think it would be cases of bottles too. He's been there for a while.
Pretty tasty once you start going for it. I'm telling you.
You should drink this. You should drink this. Squirt. You want to squirt? Squirt?
Yeah, she spits it out. Oh, it's awful. And he's like, that's not so bad once you get used to it.
And I like it because you're like, we all have to insinuate that it's definitely alcohol because he seems a little tipsy.
Yeah,
But they're like, we can't do that. This is a comic book movie, so we're not going to say it's alcohol.
It's a PG comic book movie, or like we're trying to make it family friendly or whatever. So
then why did you need that? The whole segment of her having him being
explain what he's been doing, killing time here. So.
Is it maybe because that's one of the reasons why he hasn't tried to escape is because he is drunk the whole time, and that's why they didn't want to say that. But like
you leave me with a case of totally tubulars, I'm probably not going to bother leaving. I'm like, screw it, I'll just stay here.
No, what are you talking about? That's going to last like a day or two.
Not so bad. The bad guys stay over the hill. I still got these beers in the corner. I'm all right.
Paul, you're talking like a couple up a party, and you have a few tubulars at a party. If it's the end of the world for you, and you are stuck there, and you don't have to worry about anything, and you're gonna die anyway, you're crushing that entire case in like a couple hours.
Oh yeah,
like,
that's gone in a little bit. Yeah, that
so I don't know where this
guy
guy still has his hooch, his
Well, I
toilet
think
hooch over here.
like you said, it's the toilet wine stuff he's figured out how to make. That's the
Yes,
catch.
and
Or
it's
maybe
very,
that
very, very potent. So you only need a squirt. You only need a
you
squirt.
need one squirt and you're gone. You're talking days of trip. Like I don't know, maybe he's got some funky mushrooms in that place he's using. I don't know what he's got, but yeah, I don't know. I just you knew at the beginning when he's like going to the Phantom Zone. Well, we'll see his ass again. And then when he's like, "Oh wait, there is actually one way out." I'm like, "Well, yeah, this is gonna be the end of him." But still, there's no explanation for any of it. It's just
nothing. There's literally like,
and I feel like that's the thing with this movie. It is the old bad comics of its day of like just accept it. Suppose just accept it. Just go.
But
yep,
like
yeah, we've flown out. We just move on. We're done.
You know the picking apart of Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade, where or no, Raiders of the Lost Ark, where he like doesn't need to be in the movie, basically, that he actually almost helps the Nazis get the yeah, but he finds it and they find him, and they would like technically they probably would have found it at some point somehow with digging up the entire desert, but like so like in the end it's really like Indiana Jones doesn't actually need to be in the movie, but the movie's fucking entertaining. The entire thing makes sense. The whole thing is fun to watch. All of that. This is like, it seems like in the end half the things didn't need to happen that happened, and yet she saved the day, whatever. And so but they're like, it wasn't like I'm gonna go watch this movie again for entertainment. Like it was like you can have one or the other, or you can have both. An excellent movie that has a great plot and it all makes sense and everybody needs to be where they need to be and all that stuff, or you can have one that's super entertaining and makes no sense, or a movie that is not entertaining and makes no sense. But like it's just like all these. I just don't think that this is like one of those, like, if you're talking about any of DC movies in history, this is not going to be one where I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go back and watch that movie again just to, for fun. Or I would never say to someone. I told people on Saturday, watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie, like do it. It's not. It's absolutely asinine and insane. But watch it. Motu, I'm going to tell people to watch that. Swamp Thing. Half the movies we've watched, I said, you need to at least experience this movie. This movie is not one of the ones where I'm going to be like, yeah, you should watch Supergirl. No. Go watch the new Supergirl. And it can be horrible. It'll still be better than this one, in my opinion. Like, they're going to make other mistakes probably in this new Supergirl movie, but like...
I write off a lot of this for the hokiness, the fun hokiness. I will accept that part of this movie. I laughed at it, even though I'm sure there are times I'm laughing at when that was not the intention of this movie.
Laughing at them, not with them.
It was stupid. Yeah, exactly. It was stupid, and I just rolled with the punches for it. But overall, no, this is not a good movie. No, like, it's not a good movie, and I'm trying to like consider it against other superhero movies we've watched, everything else. I don't even know. It spent way too much money. So that's always the ultimate like forgiveness to the Fantastic Four movie was it was $1 million. It was $1 million, and some actors that didn't realize that this was like almost being used against them. Like,
I'll tell you right now, that movie was better than this movie.
I don't think it was, but I forgive it because of it. I don't think it was.
I will say this movie was not boring in any moment. Like this, they did that well enough where they actually made it so that it was entertaining throughout the movie. I enjoyed
this more than Toxic Avenger. I would have, like, to me, Toxic Avenger, I was like baffled.
It's made for a specific set of, like, Toxic Avenger is made for like a specific section of people, whereas this is made for a broader audience, and that you could enjoy it. Like Taylor could sit there and watch it, and at least understand what was going on. Oh. Not really understand what's going on because no one really understood what's going on. But understand what's going on as much as I could understand what's going on. And I can see that.
Sitting there eating her breakfast, watching it with me, like she didn't like get up and like, Dad, this is dumber, and she was sitting right there.
Paul, multiple
I also
times,
don't think she's gonna come home from school and be like, Dad, can we
can you watch it again? I told him at school I'm have friends over to watch this movie. I did say multiple times though during the movie that, oh my God, this is bad. Like I said, yes, you're right. There are some, and I will say, costume's great. The fact that they use her real name and her actual like kryptonite,
parts of it, yeah.
The flying was mostly good.
which would be part of the costume problem. Flying ahead, great. Every time she lands, just like hold her skirt down as she lands. It's like, yeah, there's a issue with that costume design
because it was all drawn for comics, not for TV and movies. It
yeah,
didn't have to make
yeah.
sense.
When you actually put it practical use, it's not working really great.
The flying across town and things like that, across cities,
She uses all of her powers.
It's great.
She uses her wind, whatever, to blow the bad guys away, and she's super strong and she's fast, and she uses her heat vision. There are sometimes like she uses the heat vision through a wall to heat up the wrench the girl's using to try to.
But the wall's fine.
Right. I'm like, I don't think that works that way. And the pole, the globe, or what, I don't even know. The light post that she rips up and starts gathering lightning to. What the hell? Like, just no sense at all. No sense. Completely.
Overall, like her comic book
uses her superpowers.
Yeah, she's a comic book accurate character.
Supergirl stuff. Like she looks like Supergirl. The rest of that stuff was all good. I'll tell you what, all that was better than the end of the Batman trilogy with the little cop sidekick buddy of Batman, and then being like, "Oh, Robin, you should use your real name. It's pretty." And I was like, "What? Like, what the hell?" I just went through all this, like all the serious Christian Bale stuff, and all of a sudden, this guy's name is Robin, and he discovers the Batcave. What the hell?
Like, they didn't go any further with it, so like they probably learned their
lesson. Yeah, that just ended. Like, I'll tell you what, I will take the Supergirl movie over that whole scene in the Batman.
Comic book accurate to an extent on her. Using Jimmy Olsen was great to connective tissue. Like, honestly, when we joked about how like the Star Wars movies
Lois
are really
Lane, Superman poster, and Superman being on the radio, and yeah.
So if you think about the other characters being the main characters,
explained where he was and why he wasn't there, which is more than you could say for like half the Marvel stuff now. Of like, oh, the world's ending. By the way, this other faction existed through all that and didn't do anything. By the way, here are the Eternals that were like, oh, Thanos is ending half of the universe. We're gonna sit this one out.
They explain that eventually, though.
Oh well.
Well, that we're not the only place in the galaxy.
The gold dog thing comes back. If the gold dog thing's not running around trying to eat people, we wait it out.
But I mean, it's like, I understand the idea that there's like a huge galaxy that you have, or huge universe, huge place that you can't just Earth. We as humans think we're the center of the universe, but it's really not in that sense. Like, but yeah, the comic, but like, why Jimmy? Like, it's the whole thing is like laugh about like how like R2-D2 and C-3PO are actually the main characters of Star Wars.
Many characters of Star Wars, yeah.
That's Jimmy Olsen actually is the main character.
Probably the best character in Star Wars. He swears constantly. They bleep everything he says. Like, I'll take R2 all day.
And Jimmy Olsen is the main character in the Superman universe, technically, if you think about it, because
he's the all-encompassing. Well, and as we discussed in the world of comics, Archie's the center of the universe because everything gets pulled to Archie at some time. So
it's right there. They're on the nexus. So the nexus, yeah. Yep. But like my biggest, so the writing is horrendous. Some of the acting is really bad. Some of the acting is really good, or at least passable. Some of it I feel like
is hokey with the intention of it being hokey. Bianca, the sidekick, definitely hokey because this is a comic book movie. We want you to be over the top and cheesy, and she's over the top and cheesy. But I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah. I think that she was, that whole connectivity between the two of them was actually good. Like the I want to take over the entire world, and this other person like, do you really need to do that? Like that. Like,
next we take Canada.
Yeah. Okay, Donald Trump. But no, so they that and like the flying stuff for the most part, the flying was okay. Some of it, something like it was on Cirque du Soleil.
But the demons were all bad, which I expected. I was cheering on at the end when she's summoning this thing, and I was like, "Come on, baby, come on, bad claymation, let's go, bad claymation." And it wasn't good. It was bad effects. I don't know what the hell it was. I don't know if it was like a puppet with weird like lighting and then casting the Supergirl image over it. I don't know what the hell it was. It was bad. Wasn't as bad claymation. I was hoping for Howard the Duck claymation. That was what I was aiming for. I was like, come on, baby.
You're waiting for Howard Duck to show up? That would be great. That
would be great.
5-star movie right here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like playing with his feathers again.
For 1984, all the things I mentioned, the biggest downfall was the writing and some of the bad acting and some of the bad effects. The
I think
other
the writing's
biggest
the
one
most
is
unforgivable part of this movie.
why you have a roster of villains that you could use. Did you have to create a new one that again was okay, but like didn't like scream to me that like obviously didn't scream enough that they were like, cool, this character was created in the Supergirl movie, let's put her in comics in the future. Like
No,
it didn't scream
no,
that.
I don't
Also,
think there's any action figures of Selena from Supergirl. I don't think that there's.
it's just to me like there could have been someone
She
else,
got
and I
kind of left
guess
behind.
I understand when you're like, well, this is a movie, this is a side quest movie in a sense, so you don't want to use one of Superman's bigger villains because you want to use them for Superman, and I can understand that side of things and so on and so forth. Or maybe the people who were creating the movie just like you have the rights to use Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane's sister, in Supergirl. Like it's possible that like you have the ability to use these characters. Do not touch any of their characters. We have plans for them, which seems like more of a conversation that happens nowadays than it did in the 80s.
Yeah, I don't think in the 80s that was really big of a concern. I wouldn't have thought. I would think they were, especially when they were like very dipping toes into superhero stuff, that they would have had any foresight or worry of like they might have said you're not using Lex Luthor. But other than that, I would think it'd be pretty much here's, at that point would have been what, 30, 40 years of Supergirl background. Just go pick whatever character you want and use it. Oh, I've had a hard time with this one. I don't want to oversell this thing. I'm gonna go 1 star. I'm right on the 1 to like 1.5 star. I'm gonna go 1 star. Overall, I never shut it off. I don't know if this wasn't for a podcast, I don't know if I would have stomached through the first 15 minutes. The first 15 minutes of the movie is really bad. After that, it was sort of fun. Supergirl was sort of fun. Like I said, the hokiness I sort of accepted, and like it was cheesy and fun. The writing's unforgivable, 100%. So I go 1 star.
I was going to go 0.5 because it's the lowest I can go.
I figured you were. I figured you were going to be 0.5 on this.
It's just
yeah. I like this better than other movies we've watched.
There are moments of it. I will say, hour and a half, hour 20-minute movie would have been this movie far better.
2
Would
hours
have been far better.
I broke this into 2 sittings, and 2 hours was long. I cannot imagine sitting through this whole thing in one go. Honestly,
at the theaters too. I mean, there's 3 different versions of this. So I'm guessing we watched the director's cut because that was the one that was 2 hours. No. We watched the international cut, which is the one that actually made the most sense out of all of them, I guess. There's 3 different ones. There's the.
I don't know what you cut out of this though. If you're gonna shorten it, that doesn't make it worse. Like you can cut out some of her just flying around. She's just, for some reason, she flies numbnuts to this tropical island. He gets hit in the head with a coconut. We didn't really need her flying him all the way over there. We could ditch that. We could probably ditch half of the love interest scenes.
Because we watched one that was about 2 hours and 5 minutes, 2 hours and 4 minutes. That's the international cut. There's an hour and 45 minute was the theatrical cut, and there's a director's cut, Paul, that has 14 additional minutes in it. That's where it all makes sense now.
Well, now we have to go back and watch the other 2 and compare.
The funny thing is, I don't know if like other than like the Lord of the Rings, where like they're super friggin' long more. I don't know if I'd ever be able to pick up on half the stuff that they edit or take out or do. To be honest with you, I'd probably be like, "Cool, this is great," and then like what they added was like an additional line. You'd have to watch them like back to back or side by side, in my opinion, to like unless it was something drastically different. But like if it was drastically different, it alters the story.
My favorite movies I can immediately pick. This thing I don't know.
Oh yeah. But
yeah, same thing. You get done with the one that they cut out the 15 minutes, and I don't know if I'd go, oh, that's what they cut out of it.
I would definitely be able to cut or appreciate or see or notice more if they added things than they did if they take things away.
I agree. Yeah,
because all likelihood they take bad things away or
help stuff with this. I don't know. Did you like the chicken wand? The chicken wand was pretty good. He put and Liz was like, well, I mean, chickens kind of suck. And I'm like, yeah, they usually do. So that makes sense. You're going to make an evil weapon that he, for some reason, happens to have that he carries around. It is pure evil. Then, yeah, it'd be a chicken wand. Some bones hanging off of it there.
I don't know what the hell that was. There was moments where I'm like, what is going on right now? I am not intoxicated
Did I
enough.
That toilet wine with that guy?
I need a squirt. To watch this movie.
This will make more sense.
How did they not make? How did Squirt the drink You know, there's a drink called Squirt. How did they
Yeah,
not make a version of this for the 1984
in the
Supergirl movie
bottle.
is beyond me.
Marketing miss
I
right
should have
there.
done that. I
And
think
boy,
you could buy that.
they had plenty of marketing. The Schlitz cans that she plainly uses, the A&W root beer sign that she crashes into. Like they marketed stuff left and right through it too. I thought was sort of funny. The shameless plugs of this and that item. And
You
then I
can
was
still
like,
buy
all that
Squirt.
was, don't think you got your money's worth. You can still buy it.
$5 on Amazon for a 12 pack. Oh, they have zero sugar now, Paul.
What the hell is Squirt? I've never even heard of this. A grapefruit soda. So it's like Fresca, right? Isn't Fresca grapefruit
Yeah,
soda?
yeah. Well, that's Fresca's sugar free, so they have a zero sugar
Not the same
version.
thing.
But
You know, I'm drinking clearly Canadian this morning because I
well,
didn't
I
drink coffee.
laugh. I laugh because I'm like, I should have bought some and had it be like, I have a Squirt here. I don't have a
I
can of
got a
Squirt.
Squirt. Yeah, that's where
It
we
sounds
miss
so
out.
dirty too. Sounds like he was trying to get her drunk so he can hang out with whoever that
Yeah, I was a little like,
Uncle Creepy over here.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
creepy uncle vibe, creepy
people on
uncle vibe.
Reddit about this movie, people on Reddit were like, I think Peter O'Toole was drunk the entire movie. I'm like, yeah, probably.
Yeah, it would
Not that
explain a
he's in
lot.
the movie that much. I mean, he's in the movie on the Phantom Zone and he's in the beginning of the movie. It's not like he's in the middle of the movie that much. He's
Yeah,
like
he's probably in it for what, like
a total screen time of like
20?
10 minutes, maybe,
Yeah,
honestly. Like,
it's not much.
and he sacrificed himself for the fate of humanity.
Yeah, let's face it, he fell off the cliff. He wasn't holding on well.
From
Yeah.
what was, I don't even
That's
know,
like it would
Paul.
have been when she's like got a hold of him by the arm. If he'd done the like, no, go on without me, we'll never make it together, and he threw himself off. But instead, he's like climbing up her at one point. And I was like, oh, okay, no, we're not gonna get the hero vibe on this one. And then he's just like, yeah, he's history.
She was probably like, thank God he's gone.
Yeah.
Thank God he was a creepy old man. Yeah, it just
Felt my thigh. I'm like, I'm gonna climb up out of this cave.
Do you feel like at the end, so finishing this up, but do you feel like at the end when she swam underwater to go to her Gungar house,
It definitely looked 3D printed.
that
It was
they
not.
destroyed the sets from the beginning of the movie already, and that they didn't have the time, effort, or money
They
to
have
put
the
like to
spaceship
actually
there,
go
the
back?
hall.
No, like why would they show that she saves the day? But in every single time I've ever seen a movie where some sort of civilization is about to end, or
Yeah.
something happens, there's a party or some sort of celebration at that place because you saved the day.
Right.
Don't you think that like
Star
the end of
Wars
Star
ending.
Wars, yes,
Yep.
the end of any of those places, like you have the party, the celebration, you have
Big
this like
meal of with yeah,
yeah, at the
Harry
end of any of
Potter.
these movies, and then you have all this thing at the end of this movie that just see her swim back, and she ends up saying, "Did you see the lights come up?" And it's like we don't have the budget or time now anymore. I mean, we destroyed the sets already. We can't do this again.
Done.
We're all
Thank
done.
God we still had that original like take of this with the thing. Why the hell are there lights floating around the town in space? I don't know. The city was bad. The city
The
was
super
very bad.
city that was underwater but also in space.
I don't understand how the hell did it get underwater? I don't. And so the whole thing must have taken place in one day because the love potion only lasted a day, or if the spider got out and the spider's out, but he's still in love with her, and that's when he sees her. You are Linda and Farrow, the same person. Like,
I mean, I mean, the movie's almost a day long anyway. So,
it's pretty damn close.
so if anybody wants to, they can try to see this movie and then redeem this movie, hopefully, with Supergirl, which is coming out June 26th from DC Studios. I would imagine it's better, Paul. I mean, if it's a 1.5 star, it's
I'm
better
gonna
than
have
this.
to release because I know this uses a bunch of stuff from the Tom King Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow book. And I really enjoyed that book. And I know it's not accurate at all because Lobo's not in the book, really, and now he's in this and all this and that. So I know this is not gonna follow the plot of the book. So I have to let that go and just enjoy the ride of this new Supergirl movie. Which I think I've gotten a lot better at. I've gotten better at just being like, you know what, let's just go.
It's a universe. It pulls from it, but doesn't have to be the same.
Whatever, let it be its thing. I still can't forgive Thor Ragnarok.
We're not going to go that. We're not
Or
going to
Love and Thunder.
We're not going to go there. We're not going to go.
It's better than Love and Thunder.
Oh my God, get out of town. Guess what this movie does have in it? Superman. Weird, huh? Superman is actually in this. I don't know if he's in Superman or he's Clark Kent or Kal-El. I don't know how they actually do it in this movie, but Zor-El's
It's
in
almost
it.
like it helped that she appears in the Superman movie, so that when we follow her, we know. That would have been another thing if somewhere in the Superman movies, I guess, if she had shown up, probably would have gone a long way. Or even a mention of like, I'm the last of my kind, but according to my super Krypton computer, there's another city somewhere floating in the whatever anus of space is what it felt like.
I did.
What the hell was it? There's not outer space. There's
inner space. And we're gonna say the inner space, because inner space is actually underwater.
Right. And the whole thing is Gandor?
Gundar.
Well, yeah.
So David Krumholtz plays Supergirl's dad in this movie, who is the elf on the Santa Claus, which I'm so pumped about. You know, the main guy, Bernard, the elf on the Santa Claus movie.
Bernard?
The Bernard is gonna not in the upcoming
weird.
one. David Krumholtz is in this movie, the new one.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, which is awesome. But
okay, cool.
Paul.
Cool.
So we're not reviewing a movie soon. Episodes. Paul Eaton, May 18th. Let's see here. The next one we're doing is going to be 2026 comics so far. Shop talk as well, like talking about your shop and things like that.
What are we liking for comics this year?
Yeah, I don't think we'll do a top 10 if anybody's expecting that. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to do like, this is what I'm liking that's reading, and there's a possibility because I like it, and it might end up on our list at the end of the year, but like, this is what's good right now. This is what we're looking forward to that we know is coming, or the end of a series is coming, or more is coming from that. I think it's just a discussion about comics in general, and I think that's a good place to be right now. And I think there's some complaints we'll make, those some gossip we'll put out there, I guess. We'll put some comics to look forward to, and so on and so forth. And I'll discuss some of the ideas for the rest of the year on the podcast. And then we'll also do another movie review after that at some point. I think the next movie we do, actually, now that I think about it, is going to be The Rocketeer, but I'm not 100% sure on that. You excited for that Rocketeer?
I'll tell you what, I loved that movie as a kid, and I don't remember anything about it.
Me either.
And then I tried to watch it as an adult.
It's not going to be good, I know.
Wow. I do not understand how I watched it so much as a child, especially when I watch adult movies. Cause I was watching Die Hard and RoboCop and Lethal Weapon and Alien and Predator. And how the hell did I watch that Rocketeer movie so many times? Because I tried watching it, and I don't think I made it through like 20 minutes. It was boring as sin. So I guess we're gonna
do it again.
We're gonna get it, because I'll tell you what, the first 15 minutes of this movie are pretty bad. So
what?
Rocketeer picks up,
and I'll tell you right now, I think The Rocketeer is less than 2 hours long, so even that's a positive. I'm not an old man trying to say I want hour movies. What I'm trying to say is that most movies that I've watched that are 2+ hours, that are not like Academy Award winning movies, don't need to be that long. That's my point. Like, there's definitely a lot of movies that are super long that are not they're just entertaining movies.
I'm gonna throw this out there. This is 2 hours, right? I have not watched the Snyder Cut that everyone's like, well, you just should watch the Snyder Cut. I think I would watch this movie back to back over watching the Snyder Cut. And that'd be my 4 hours of dedication.
There's your 4 hours. But to me, it's like, it makes more sense. Like, it didn't need to be 2 hours. I'll tell you that right now. This movie did not need to. I'm not a movie maker, and I'm not a filmer. I'm not an editor. I don't know what to cut out specifically to make it make more concise sense. But I will say right now is that 2 hours of this was too much.
When your target audience seemed to be family too, you're now asking children to sit in a theater for 2 hours? No.
I mean, we broke it up into our house. It ends up being like, you might as well make it like a 3-part special on TV than it is on going to the theaters.
It would have made more sense.
Cool, Paul. Yeah, exactly. And one of these days we'll do the Superman movie. The Superman. Christopher Reeve.
I remember watching it. I forgot we didn't review it.
It's good. I think we got like kids got sick, I got sick, whatever it may be, and then we had to move along, and then schedules got weird and stuff like that. So like, it is what it is. But yeah, we're excited for that. And then Shop Talk coming up here pretty soon. It'll be fun. I'm excited to talk about, and we'll see. Excited to also like to look back on what we say is good and what we actually put on our list at the end of the year, kind of thing. It'd be kind of cool to see that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we.
Because we've read in our comics, we read the first 2 comics, we're like, this is amazing, and then comics 3, 4, and 5 are awful. So
that has happened enough times.
Comics in general are amazing, so I don't want to say that they're awful, but like, it wasn't good. It didn't stick the landing. So that's what
it didn't hit what I wanted. Let's go with that. Probably somebody else will enjoy it, but it didn't work for me. Yeah.
Do you want a sticker?
What is that? Is that Rogue?
Yeah, Liana
that's cool.
Kangas Rogue. I got 3 of
Liana
them.
Kangas Rogue. Nice. That's awesome.
Well, she drew.
Oh, yeah.
They drew it. So I
Yeah,
got a
yeah.
bunch
They
of
drew
them.
the.
They
They
sent
drew
me.
the Rogue.
I have a
Very cool.
stack of stickers from
Oh, yeah.
Liana that I'll bring in for you to put at the shop. I don't know where
Nice.
they went, but they sent me like, look at these things, like stack of
Nice.
stickers. So you can like put them at the shop or whatever. But
Liana doing awesome Liana things.
yeah, but they sent them to me recently, so I thought I'd share them with other people because I can only put it on so many things. I'm like hoarding stickers over here, but cool. Supergirl, 1984.
Supergirl.
Watch it, don't watch it. Doesn't matter to me. But this is what you can just listen to this, and you got everything you need to know from this podcast right here on
It's not
Keeps
2
and
hours long.
Galactic Comics and Collectibles at galacticcomicsandcollectibles.com. 499 Hammond Street, Suite 2, 3.
Suite 3? I don't know.
3. I don't know. Whatever. It's
You'll
499
see the
Hammond
signs,
Street.
Trust me.
Grab a pizza slice. Go next door and
Yeah.
you know,
I
and
guess
get a
if you
comic
want, you
book.
go get insurance because there's insurance place.
Insurance
Besides
other
that,
places.
yeah, get pizza.
Dance studio. Plenty of parking. And then if you want to, you can park there, grab a comic or two. And if you want to take, it's nice weather out now. Take a little jaunt around the corner and you can walk up the street. You can see Stephen King's house.
We're even
Take a
closer
picture,
to Stephen King's house.
and then walk back. And then just don't park your car there all day. We need the parking for comic book sales. But
That's true. We got stuff going on here.
get stuff going on here. Paul, we'll talk soon.
Oh.
Enjoy the weather today and tomorrow. Today's good, but tomorrow and Wednesday are gonna be freaking hot. So hopefully the AC
it's gonna be toasty. Today, I don't know if we get a little sun. I might go like play some golf today. I'm thinking.
Do it.
Yeah.
It's actually perfect weather for golf, to be honest with you. Because
'cause not
even if
too
it's a little
hot.
cold, put a jacket on. You don't want it to be 100 degrees out.
Oh, it's not that much.
Cool. People are like, "Oh my god, I'm turning this podcast off already." I'll have to. Maybe I'll edit this out. Maybe I won't. Whatever. Paul, it's always been great to talk to you. See you soon, everybody. Go read comics. Read more comics all the time, every day, and then watch movies too, and all that stuff. Enjoy.
Read Supergirl comics.
Yeah, exactly.